Hello everyone, we are Group 4, including 5 members, and today we will give you a presentation with the topic the conceptualization of Vietnamese people about celebrities' charity activities on Facebook during the flood disaster in central Vietnam. This video has 3 parts. Firstly, we start with the reason for choosing the topic, then present Vietnamese conceptualizations about doing charity during the 2020 flood. Finally, we give our group's conceptualization and actions about these issues. Firstly, I would like to talk about the reason why our group chose the topic. As we know that in 2020, especially from October to now, Central Vietnam has been suffering from many fierce storms, and the most recent typhoon is Goni, a so-called storm number 10, which caused prolonged floods concentrating mainly in some of the central province. These storms caused many disasters such as floods, storms, landslides, and so on. As a result, some provinces in central Vietnam had to suffer from many serious damage to people as well as property. According to the Socialist Republic of Vietnam online newspaper of the government, on 30 October 2020, in general, total damage after 5 storms in central Vietnam in October was estimated that 153 people died and are missing, 222 people were injured, 3,000 cattle and 600,000 poultry were killed, more than 111,000 houses were destroyed, and about 67,000 hectare crops were damaged. Before serious damage from disaster, many celebrities stood out to call for donation charity through a social network, Facebook, to help as well to share difficulties with the people in affected area. When celebrities call for donation, their actions have received a lot of interaction from netizens, not only from fans, anti-fans, but also from other celebrities, KOLs on Facebook, and from that, it forms many different conceptualizations about charity. So in the next part, we will mention some typical conceptualizations about doing charity.
The first conceptualization of Vietnamese people is an individual engagement in doing charity. In calling on the public to raise money, Thủy Tiên played a leading role. In the hope of updating the overviews of her charitable work, Thủy Tiên frequently used Facebook to share and live stream. Notably, in most of her posts, it is easy to see that she is sympathetic with the lives of flood-affected people. In the post, she described the terrifying condition and harsh weather that inhabitants would suffer. Sóng to, gió lớn, mưa rông, lạnh cóng tay chân, sóng đập ghê quá, kinh khủng quá, ám ảnh những gì mình chứng kiến tận mắt, người dân kêu cứu, run cầm cập vì lạnh. Eventually, she aimed to raise the public sympathy with flood-affected people. Besides, the photographs were often taken with the moment when she gave money and consumer goods to the people, or she encouraged and inquired them from the elderly to the children. Through her posts and photographs, it is evident that doing charity had to do it by herself and engage in every charity activity. As a result, the public continued to give her beautiful words. They show high belief in her engagement in charity work. May quá, cô Thủy Tiên đã đích thân đi. Thủy Tiên cứ làm theo tâm, đã tin tưởng chuyển tiền nhờ Tiên thay mặt làm hộ. In the public ideology, Thủy Tiên does charity work by herself, so the public totally entrusts their money to her to be their representative to help the flood-affected people. The second conceptualization is a transparency in doing charity. Live stream often draw the public attractions, so she genuinely show the public every charitable activity and a support team to help people in flood areas on the live stream. We can see that the charity work of Thủy Tiên is a work as a participant by herself to help directly people in flood areas. On another side, it is transparent that she regularly updates her money and her account balance during the charity process as the following of the timeline. After 7 hours, she got more than 5 billion Vietnam dong, and after nearly 24 hours, she receives 10 billion or more. Furthermore, comprehensive financial report with the aid of the local authority to ensure that the money is allocated to the right person. Because of Thủy Tiên transparency in doing charity work, the majority of the public praise and trust her. Some comment that chọn mặt gửi vàng, công khai, minh bạch, cứ minh bạch từng khoản thu chi thì chẳng sợ gì lời nói khó nghe. In general, they glorify her transparency in doing charity work and encourage her to remain transparent in the long run.
Now let's move to the concept 3. Quantity consent in doing charity of netizens. Besides the encouragement and compliments to kind-hearted celebrities, there are also many malicious comments from keyboard users that hurt celebrities who are familiar with the scrutiny of netizens. This online charity campaign also reflects a sad current situation when kindness is being compared based on their contribution. To illustrate, Miss Henie was criticized by the netizens for her donation of 50 million BNG through the donation account of runner Lê Hằng. However, after the information about the amount of money she supported was public, a series of negative comments criticized her. Accordingly, some people said that her donation of 50 million VNG is too little. Even some said she is stingy, specifically compared with the popularity of her Henie, stating it is a modest number. Therefore, after reading a series of comments above, she burst into tears. It's the offensive comments on the internet that hurt her. At that time, there were only 85 million VND in her bank account, and more than half of them were used for donating. For some people, that amount of money is not much, but for her, it costs a fortune. Therefore, after reading a series of comments above, she burst into tears. It's the offensive comments on the internet that hurt her. At that time, there were only 85 million VND in her bank account, and more than half of them were used for donating. For some people, that amount of money is not much, but for her, it costs a fortune.
Doing charity is a beautiful tradition in Vietnam. However, there are some side effects of this practice. So, let's look at some more conceptualization of other celebrities on Facebook about doing charity during the 2020 flood disaster. As a famous singer who also did charity herself, Phương Thanh could deeply understand the reality of this practice. Via Facebook, she posted a status and mentioned that on her way to do charity work in central Vietnam, specifically Quảng Ngãi, she caught a number of people there who were not really affected by the flood, still came to receive 10 million charity money from Thủy Tiên.
As you can see on her post, she used some words like canh me 10 triệu, không bị lũ lụt làm cũng canh me tiền, to express that some people here just mainly waited to receive 10 million VND and ignored other forms of doing charity like donated clothes, food and other materials. Therefore, she had the conceptualization that doing charities is a good opportunity for cheating, as money can provoke the guiltiness of people and it only solves the surface of consequences of the disaster, not the root. Another celebrity who also showed his own conceptualization about doing charity during the 2020 flood disaster via Facebook is the famous singer Tuấn Hưng. Through his Facebook account, he expressed his appreciation for the kindness of the people who were doing charity to help Central Vietnam, as he wrote, cực kỳ trân trọng những tấm lòng đang hướng về miền Trung. However, he considered doing charity when the flood was still happening fiercely is too reckless or dangerous, and raised a question whether we should go into the flood-affected areas at this time or not. Moreover, he also concerned about the fact that some people are doing charity without equipping themselves any theoretical basis related to the flood, and they also lack vital means of transportation. Via he stated, you can see that, in his opinion, doing charity is very necessary, but needs proper timing and a lot of detailed information. Moreover, he emphasized that charity work also needs the intervention of local authority because they are the ones who deeply understand the situation and can help us do charity work safely and properly. From his direction via Facebook, you can see that Tuấn Hưng conceptualized charity work as a practice of safety, theoretical basis, and government involvement.
And as final step of our presentation, I would like to evaluate our conceptualizations. By conceptualizing individuals' engagement in doing charity, we show some examples about the celebrities' engagement and proves that it actually works. And by conceptualizing transparency in doing charity, we show some examples that the celebrities shows their process, the charity process during the live stream. So we can evaluate that these celebrities' donations for this pandemic has some quite clear the transparency. Thirdly, we can conceptualize the quantity concerns in doing the charity. We show some of the celebrities were criticized due to the small amount of donations amount. So we can evaluate that the public judge the celebrities by the amount of donations, and that makes the celebrities like burdens themselves. And for fourth, we conceptualize that doing charity is sometimes give some opportunities as a fraud, so that we can evaluate that some of the people use the donation as the chance of the fraud. And lastly, we conceptualize the doing charity itself, and we evaluate that the charity should be in safety, theoretical basis, and by the government interventions. So this was our presentations. Thanks for listening, and if you have any questions, then please comment below.